What's going on, guys? Today we've got a very, very special treat. We're going to be looking at the Whey Plus. So there's a more executive brand of The Whey by Myprotein. So let's grab a seat and let's check out what makes this different to the Whey and the Impact Whey protein. And we'll dissect whether it's just a fancy package or if there's actually something going on in here. So there's quite a lot to unpack with the Whey Plus. It's actually quite a complicated blend of proteins. But before we get into it, leave a like on the video and hit subscribe and also ring that notification bell. Just press all the buttons down there. Helps the channel grow, helps me out, and also helps you see more of this content as well. And we've got a shaker cup as well. What we're going to do is we're just going to mix it, see how well it mixes, and then we're going to go into the taste on this. First of all, let's talk about this packaging. This packaging is, I feel like it's an expensive whiskey or something. Like this is kind of like, you know, like this is kind of cool. Like this is not what you would expect from a protein blend. Oh my god, that is on there, that. I'm not entirely sure how you open this. Alright, so it is a screw lid. Alright, so I've got chocolate brownie flavour, and I don't know if you guys can see, actually. If we look in here, you guys see that? Let me see if I can get this. Scoop's right on top, which we like. But, can you guys see that? Like, look there, right? All those yellows and reds. It's almost like there's crushed up M&Ms or Smarties, something like that in there. Really, really cool. I kind of like that. It smells absolutely incredible as well. Okay, so 1 scoop into water. Going in. Let's see how well this mixes. We've got a new shaker cup from Myprotein. I don't know how new this is, but it used to be like a deeper blue, like a royal blue. I actually kind of like this. Like the measurements on the side are actually kind of a lot clearer. Alright, so let's see how well this is mixed. Quite like that. Interesting. The new shaker, I quite like the new shaker, guys. Yeah, so let's have a look at that. I feel like that's mixed really, really well. So let's give this a go. Ooh. So this is chocolate brownie flavour. It comes in 3 different flavours. It comes in chocolate brownie, vanilla ice cream, or strawberry milkshake, I think it is. Again, just your standard chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry. And this is really good. Really, really nice. Yeah, so that is really good. It actually has like a little bit of saltiness to it with the actual crushed up. I'm assuming they're Smarties or M&Ms or just something very, very similar to those. However, that may or may not be to your taste. Like it does sort of like coat your mouth if you take a big gulp of it. If you guys see all these bits here, it does sort of like crushed up sweets. Again, I really like it, but depending on your personal preference, you may or may not like it. So it's definitely not the worst tasting protein ever. In fact, it's actually kind of nice. So I would actually give this an 8 out of 10 in terms of flavour. In terms of mixability, again, I'm going to give it a 9. So really, there's actually tons of those down at the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there is a ton. It's just sort of like all congealed in the bottom. So the macro breakdown for 1 scoop of the Whey Plus is 121 calories, 0.7 grams of fat, 1.7 grams of carbs, 26 grams of protein, and then we've got the micros in there as well. We've got the glutamine, leucine, isoleucine and valine as well. Now we're going to come back to the macros and all the PhaseTech and everything. Just so you've got those fresh in your mind, the Impact Whey protein is 90 calories. It's got 0.2 grams of fat, 1.3 grams of carbs and 20 grams of protein. So 6 grams of protein more, a little bit more in the way of fat and carbohydrates, but literally both under a gram more. So let's talk about this, like what really sets this apart from the Whey. So the Whey had added glutamine and leucine in it, which this has as well. However, this has, I believe, a little bit more of both, and also it's got that myzyme as well. Guys, if you want to check out the video for the Whey protein, go check it out, it's up there, just added a link to that video. But in terms of what glutamine and leucine do when added into a protein shake, so glutamine is shown to improve digestion. However, what a lot of supplement companies do is they add it into their protein shakes and they say that it's going to help you build muscle, it's going to help improve the amount of muscle mass that you can pack on. And the reality is, unfortunately, that's not been confirmed yet. And there was a study that was done where they gave half of the participants a glutamine supplement and half a placebo effect, sent them off to train for X amount of weeks following the same plan, and basically there was no difference in between the two. I'll throw that up on the screen just so you can read it, just so you know I'm not making that up. Having said that, the other amino acid that's been added to this, leucine, has been shown to give a solid amount of muscle recovery when compared to whey proteins that haven't. So post-exercise recovery is potentially, again keyword potentially, going to be improved using the Whey Plus over something like the Impact Whey, and that's backed up by studies as well, so I'll throw it on the screen, feel free to pause to read it all before we continue. So before we move on to price, I just want to talk about PhaseTech, which is trademarked along with Growplex and Myzyme by Myprotein, so I'm guessing they are Myprotein creations, I guess. Let's talk about PhaseTech first, and perhaps someone in the comments can enlighten me on this because this is pretty confusing to me. I'm not a scientist or a chemist, so maybe if you're something of a scientist yourself, maybe you could let me know. So the outside has a fluidized coating which creates phased release action. The inside is formula ingredients activated at optimal intervals. I have no idea what that means. So it just says PhaseTech time release technology. So I'm a little bit lost. So I'm guessing that just means that the protein is released into your body at certain like, is that bullshit? I don't know. I'm just guessing it's a slower releasing protein. Which leads us on to the ingredients list. So it's got milk and soy. They're like basically the first two ingredients in there. Now we don't really like soy protein, it's a cheap protein, still a complete protein, but unfortunately it is a very cheap protein mix, and basically they just sort of like add it in. Now given it says it's a whey protein isolate, given it's got a bit of soy in it, whey protein is milk protein, soy protein is a little bit cheaper than that, so they basically pad out their products with soy protein, which is not what we want to see from like such a premium product. On this, we've got Growplex, which is hydrolyzed whey protein and micellar casein. So it does have casein protein in it, but then it does have brackets, milk and soy again. And then really just a load of flavoring. The PhaseTech beadlets, which are BCAAs, leucine, isoleucine and valine, as well as the other amino acids we've talked about already. So all in all, pretty solid ingredients list. That PhaseTech completely over my head. Maybe if someone from Myprotein is watching or someone who knows something about it, maybe you can enlighten me in the comments what that means. But at the moment I'm just guessing because it's casein protein, it's just slower release, releasing at optimal intervals. And finally, let's just talk about price. So this was on sale. I got this on a Black Friday sale. I made a really big order, so I got it very cheap indeed. I paid £25 for this. However, normally it's on sale for £35.99. So £36 for a kilogram of protein. Not the cheapest. I'm not gonna lie, not the cheapest. But again, if you're wanting some sort of like, you know, quite bougie product, this is pretty high quality stuff aside from the soy protein that's in there. So the whey protein is actually £26.99, so £8 cheaper. And the Impact Whey protein is nearly £20 cheaper at £16.99. £19 cheaper. So for the vast majority of people, I'm gonna say save a ton of money and go for the Impact Whey protein over the Whey or the Whey Plus. However, if you're really taking things seriously, you want a great tasting, great mixing protein, then go for the Whey Plus. You are gonna pay extra for it, but the quality is there, I assure you. Well guys, thank you so much for watching the video, really appreciate it. Hope you learned something from that little review. I know I did. I learned quite a lot from just checking all that out. And if you're still watching at the end of the video, why not chuck me a like? Really helps the channel grow. And of course, please subscribe as well. Just want to say a big thank you to everyone who has watched the channel, everyone who has subscribed to the channel in 2020, really means a lot. Now if you're watching this, it's probably 2021. I think I'm going to release this New Year's Eve 2020. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, really appreciate it, and in the meantime I'll see you for more content in 2021. Leave a comment down below, what do you think I should be reviewing next, or if you're just fancying any other sort of fitness content, do give me ideas for the channel. But I have a list, honestly, this big for new video ideas. We've got some very exciting stuff coming in 2021, so why not subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, press all the buttons down there, and of course I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!